Hi, my name is Mackenzie, and fun fact about me, I love rabbit holes. Call me Alice in Wonderland the way I'd be jumping down into every one that I see. And after watching the Ashley Madison documentary, I dove headfirst into the Sam and Nia rabbit hole. Swan dived right into it. And now I know more about this couple than I know about my own family. They are serial oversharers, holier than thou, Christian Fundie, money-hungry clout goblins, and every time that I think it can't get worse, it does. My jaw has been on the floor this entire time researching this. And I'm about to take you on the journey that I went on, so please keep your hands inside the vehicle at all times and do not send hate to anyone mentioned in this video. Thank you. Sam and Nia are a couple that debuted their YouTube channel 16 years ago, with Sam uploading a cover of what some would call music, others prisoner of war torture methods.
Don't make light of a smile and frown. A smile is a smile, the world around.
Those were definitely sounds. It wasn't long before they started exploiting their first child, Symphony, with a video of her birth. And they have vlogged every single birth of their children on YouTube since then. Blood, guts, placenta, and all. These kids didn't have a chance to breathe before they decided to cash in on their tiny little humans. I know it's like normal now to live stream your baby exiting your birth canal, but it's really gross. Unless your family or friends specifically ask for it, none of us want to see that. Keep it in the photo album. Imagine when the kids are older and all their friends are able to look up their birth on the internet. How is that a thing? How is that legal? Please stop. The exploitation continued until their channel finally took off with a lip sync of a song from Disney's Frozen. It is now sitting at 23 million views and is still to date one of their most popular videos. I'm sure Disney took every single penny from this video because of copyright, as they literally just uploaded the song and lip synced to it. I didn't understand it back then, and I don't understand it now. Love is an open door. Love is an open door. By the way, the song that they are singing is sung by Princess Anna and the dude that she is in love with, who we find out later has been manipulating her and lying to her the entire time. Just a fun little trivia to save for later. They also named this video Good Looking Parents Sing Disney's Frozen. It seems like the beginning of a couple's description on Tinder. Extremely attractive, sexy swinger couple looking for a third to sing Disney's Frozen while doing it. I truly am baffled over the popularity of this video. Like, it isn't particularly interesting or original. They're not even actually singing it. And I get that I'm not the target audience, but why was this newsworthy? Why did this low-effort video jumpstart their entire career? I think it was just little kids' obsession with Frozen at the time. But after this took off, they started posting daily vlogs and shoving cameras in their newborns' faces immediately. Here's a clip of them talking about how old they were when they first met.
I was 15 years old when I met Sam. And Sam was 18.
I remember that.
It sounds like he's saying, I don't remember that. Really? You don't remember dating a high schooler when you weren't in high school anymore? I think he remembers. Because of course he was an adult and she was a child when they met. Everything else about the relationship makes sense after learning this information. And it wasn't like, oh, they sort of knew each other, they were friends first. Nope, they both said they fell in love on day one.
The question was also, when did we fall in love? I think it was day one, honestly.
I do too.
So they dated for 5 years before getting engaged. So he was well out of high school and into college for more than half of their relationship up until that point. And I think it's sus. I think it reminds me of a word that rhymes with brooming, which plays into their future relationship heavily, of Sam leading the way and Nia just happy to be there. The first mini drama that the couple got involved in was Sam pranking Nia on April Fool's Day and people calling them out because it seemed really fake. She is obviously very much in on it, as the acting is not very good and she is directly looking into the camera multiple times.
Turn it on and get sprayed in the face.
I hate jelly on my hands. Sam
April!
Oh my god! You are so obnoxious! Oh my gosh! I am so gonna get you. I am gonna get you so bad.
Oh man.
Don't even know. Did you know
We
that?
got her.
Oh, you did have a camera.
We got her. And she still loves me.
I do.
Samuel, stop it. Oh my gosh, you're crazy. Is this being recorded? I show you this clip because it speaks to the fact that they are both willing to fake content for views. And while faking pranks is mostly harmless and not the biggest sin a YouTuber can commit, as it happens a lot on here, it is an ethically slippery slope and one that they slide down swiftly. In my opinion, Sam and Nia decided that early on, faking content for views was okay as long as the money kept coming in, and this is one of the first times I can find that this happened. They continued to post typical family vlogger content, showing every aspect of their children's lives without their consent because they are kids and they cannot consent. We're talking doctor's appointments, disciplining them, like nothing is off the table as far as what is for public consumption of their children's lives. Hi, editing Mackenzie here. I really need to talk about this video in particular. It's called Caught Telling Lies. And they sit there and try to ask her about why she got detention with the camera on, and then they catch her lying about it. There is no need to publicly shame your children. Like, this does not need to be monetized. I find it really strange and I find it really inappropriate, especially when I learned that Sam and Nia are big fans of the paddle. Here's a clip of that video for you.
Well, that wasn't what happened, but it was something else.
You just told us a lie?
Mm-hmm. So, like, my friends...
Why would you lie to us like that?
You never use lying as a way to get out of anything.
Your lie was about to get everybody else in trouble, and in the long run, that would have made Mommy get in the most trouble.
Sit in your bed, Symphony. Do not do a single thing. We're going to leave the discipline action we took to your imagination.
We'll leave that to your imagination. Yeah, you hit her with a paddle. Like, kids lie to stay out of trouble. I don't think that's anything to be super concerned about, but to shame them for it, I think is going to have really negative repercussions in the future. I'm not a child psychologist, but I was a child at one point, and I'm aware of the resentment that is going to build up for Symphony, that this was all taped and they felt the need to humiliate her further as part of her punishment. Anyways, back to the video. Sam and Nia truly take the cake for zero sense of privacy for them or their children. They post their entire house all the time, and I found their full license plate on display in one of their videos. Being privileged sure does come with an inflated sense of safety and security. I can't even imagine trying to sleep knowing I have put all of that personal information out there about myself. Their security system is probably just the Holy Spirit. And they portrayed being a faithful Christian family, bringing up God whenever they could. They have admitted several times that their YouTube channel is a part of their ministering efforts, and they were more than excited to share the good word with their audience.
For us, vlogging was just showing other families what it looked like to live for the Lord.
Even people who have not been introduced to God, they're being introduced to God through the love that we're demonstrating to them.
They call their fans BASIC, which stands for Brothers and Sisters in Christ, so that's fun. I don't know where the line is between a Christian fundamentalist and like a normal Christian, whatever that is. I just know a Fundie when I see one. I was raised Mormon and practiced for 3 decades, and my religiously traumatized spidey senses start to tingle. One of my first clues was homophobia. That'll usually do it. They uploaded a video in July of 2015 titled Kids React to Gay Marriage, in which they ask their oldest daughter Symphony, who was 5 at the time, her thoughts on gay people getting married. And hysterically, her first answer was they should be able to get married if they want to. Period. Ally.
Talk, Valentina. Ally.
Because children are not born homophobic. It is taught to them. But when they realized she hadn't been indoctrinated yet, they eventually coerced her on camera into saying that gay marriage is wrong. She's 5. There was a petition because of this to get their sponsors to drop them, and it worked, as one of their sponsors, called NatureBox, dropped them for being discriminatory. And it was only after they started to lose money that they took down that video and uploaded a non-apology.
We are Christians. We believe in everything the Bible says, and we believe God created man and woman to be together. I don't take back any of that, but I do regret taking it so lightly and pushing our views on something like that at an age that she doesn't even understand.
I think it's important to point out that while we don't
support that lifestyle,
and we follow the Bible closely on a lot of different things, we have a lot of love for those people too.
Oh, fuck off with your lifestyle bullshit. What about your lifestyle, Sam? Sorry, we will get into him, I promise. You do not feel bad for indoctrinating your daughter. You did not have a follow-up conversation with her being like, just kidding, what you said the first time was actually right. You regret nothing. You only regret losing a sponsorship. Fun fact, the Bible actually says nothing about gay people. It is a mistranslation and has been debunked thousands of times. Also, Sam's brother Michael Rader went on a really hilarious homophobic rant one time where he talked about men's anuses at length. Like, he's put a lot of thought into men's anuses, more than any gay man that I know. But he hasn't seemed to research where the male G-spot is located. Who's gonna tell him? This is kind of a non-factor, but Sam's homophobia definitely runs in the family, and this rant just made me laugh really hard. My second clue to their Christian fundamentalism was how many kids they have, which right now is 4. And they have talked about how they don't use birth control and rather use the don't pull out and pray method that a lot of Christian fundies use, which is how you get families like the Duggars, whose genetic contributions to society have been nothing but positive. While researching, I actually found an older clip of them talking about how they originally only wanted 1 kid.
Originally, we just wanted 1. We were just going to have Symphony. This guy was a surprise, so now we want 2.
I agree with that.
Maybe we'll have another one. Right now, it's still up in the air. Or actually, she's pretty sure she doesn't want another one right now.
So, what changed? Well, in their memoir that came out a few weeks ago, they pretty much admit to deciding to have more kids for YouTube. I wish I was making that up. I really do. I didn't purchase this book, but an excerpt that I found says this, and this is Sam talking. Considering a year had passed since our first viral video, and with our channel's engagement gradually declining, I felt we were overdue for another hit. Given the proven success of pregnancy announcements on YouTube and Nia's and my decision to continue to grow our family, I felt the golden opportunity I was searching for was close at hand. My creativity was sparked. He might not have explicitly said we had kids for YouTube, but him calling a pregnancy announcement a golden opportunity is the reddest of the red flags. But unfortunately, this would not just be any clickbait pregnancy announcement, as they took their greed to a whole new level. In August of 2015, just over a year after their sing-along video went viral, they had another viral moment with a video titled "Husband Shocks Wife with Pregnancy Announcement," and that is essentially what happens in this video. Sam gets a pregnancy test and uses Nia's pee that has been sitting overnight in the toilet to use for the test, and that's how he found out that she was pregnant before she did. It soon got millions of views and is currently still up on their channel with over 19 million views. But just 3 days later, they sadly announced that Nia had miscarried. Now, I'm going to try and be as delicate as possible when talking about this because I know that it's a very sensitive subject for a lot of people, but there are several things wrong with this picture. First of all, you are not going to get an accurate test from a toilet bowl because it's diluted with water and other chemicals, and you can get a false positive or a false negative. Secondly, this is a huge violation of bodily autonomy and privacy. I would be extremely upset if someone did this to me behind my back. It just feels very violating. It's the lack of boundaries for me, which is very present in any Christian Fundie marriage, and especially Sam and Nia's. And thirdly, it's pretty obvious that this video is fake. Now, whether or not the pregnancy is fake, I don't know. I think it's an extremely serious thing not only to do, but to accuse someone of doing. However, this video is full of the same bad acting that we have seen before from both of them.
Oh.
She's really pregnant.
What am I gonna do?
What did you do? Did you get a dropper out of the toilet? Wait a minute. I can't believe I'm finding out like this. I had all these plans to tell Sam when I found out. This isn't fair.
And it's really strange how quickly she catches on to what he did. She's like, did you get a dropper out of the toilet? Like, that's a very specific thing to say, but those are her choice of words because they had talked about doing it prior. So whether the setup was, hey, it would be a good idea for you to surprise me, I'll leave my piss in the toilet bowl for you every night, or hey, I'm pregnant and this this is how we should announce it. We should pretend that this is how you got a positive. Either way, it is your standard fake and phony viral video. And the last reason that people had an issue with this is that Nia admitted she had not been to a doctor either to confirm her pregnancy or to confirm her miscarriage. She just diagnosed it all herself, which I guess is something you can do. It just adds to people's suspicion that it was fake. Now, the follow-up video about them losing the baby is no longer on YouTube, so I've only been able to find clips of it floating around.
And those of you who have experienced miscarriage before, you know, I can relate now.
And this video was just getting so big, never imagined this would happen, but this baby came along, made us happier than we remember, you know, just by seeing that pregnancy test. And she came and just made the biggest difference in our lives.
So people thought that this was just a way to save face, that she was never pregnant in the first place. And again, I don't know whether or not that's true. All I know is they are known as the YouTube couple who faked a pregnancy. And they did not do a great job trying to dispel the rumors either. After it was announced that they lost the baby, they tweeted the following. Our tiny baby brought 10 million views to her video and 100,000 new people into our lives. She turned our life around and brought us closer together. Yeah, that tweet could have done without the entire first sentence. Also, they didn't know for sure it was a girl because they claimed that Nia was only about 6 weeks along. She just felt like it was a girl, so there's that. This just further enraged people who thought that they were already exploiting their existing kids for money, and now they're using a child that may have never existed for money. How low can you go? Even if they didn't fake anything, this tweet is in such poor taste. It makes me cringe for how they view bringing children into the world, like they're just another paycheck to them. It's giving Ruby Frankie vibes, okay? It's just gross. And Sam and Nia actually got kicked out of a vlogging convention, their words not mine, because he got into a fight with another YouTuber couple about this very tweet. Their names are Cullen and Katie, and Cullen had simply liked a tweet that criticized their tweet, and so Sam felt the need to go up to him and be like, hey, why'd you like that tweet? And Cullen was like, because I can.
So Cullen had essentially favorited a tweet that another vlogger tweeted saying that it was jacked up that Sam tweeted how many views and subscribers their unborn child has brought to their channel.
And I don't feel like I had to explain myself. I just said, because I can.
Period. But as they were garnering a lot of criticism for this, karma would continue to punch them square in the face. And just a few short weeks after their pregnancy announcement and subsequent unannouncement went viral, the Ashley Madison hack happened. And Sam Rader's name was on the list of people who had an account with this website. Ashley Madison is a dating website exclusively for married people looking to have an affair. August of 2015 was a bit of a nightmare for them, but one that they caused themselves. His username on this website was Dirty Little Secret Man. How dare you disrespect all American rejects in that way? At first, Sam and Nia put a video on their channel saying, yes, he had this account, but it was old and he never had an affair. He was only messaging women. This happened years ago and Nia had already forgiven him.
As you may have seen, my name has been associated with an Ashley Madison account. Website made for spouses who want to have an affair. I did make the account. I made the account 2 years ago. This is an issue that is in our past. I brought this to my church at the time when I first started the church that I'm at now. This has been brought to my discipleship partner. This was brought to my wife's attention. She has forgiven me for this mistake that I made. I've sought forgiveness to God and He's forgiven me. So I've been completely cleansed of this sin. And also I need to be clear that I've never met with a single person face to face through that website, and that I never had an affair with anybody ever while I've been married with Nia.
You know, I have forgiven Sam and I stand behind him. This is in our past and it's unfortunate that it's being dug up right now, but you know, our marriage is worth fighting for, and it always will be.
Well, that was a lie. We learn in the documentary that this wasn't something that Nia had known about for years, but she had just found out like the rest of us. But in order to take back control of the narrative and make her look a little less stupid, they pretended this was old news and she already knew about it because they wanted to save face and, more importantly, save their YouTube channel. So you were witnessing Nia knowingly watch her husband lie, but she claims she didn't know how much of a big giant Pinocchio lying loser he was.
I was really just angry right away about the, like, not thinking it through on his part. Like, just such a selfish decision. Now here we are, potentially going to just, like, lose everything, like, maybe we've built.
I can't believe he'd throw away our brand like that. I mean, our marriage. This happened almost 10 years ago at this point, but to bring it all up again themselves now is crazy. They were like, oh, you thought Sam sucked? You didn't know how much he sucked. Find out more details in our brand new book, only $14.99. I believe they jumped at the opportunity to participate in this documentary because of the launch of their new book, as they have been promoting this documentary left and right at the same time as their new memoir, as a way to find out more details of Sam's psychopathy and Nia's savior complex. And of course, this book is a part of their ministering efforts.
Oh my gosh, you guys. Our book was just mentioned in the New York Times. New York Times! They are talking all about the documentary, and the girl goes on. She's open about the fact that she's not a Christian, but she read our book. She says that in the article, that she read our book. But here's the thing. Non-Christians are getting their hands on our book, and the premise, the basis of how the gospel works, how redemption and how living for Jesus works, is getting into their minds and their hearts. Like, little seeds are being planted.
Yeah, so I actually read the article, and I'm not sure where Nia gets the idea that it's planting Christian seeds, other than her deep-seated delusion. The New York Times author sympathizes with Nia's situation while simultaneously talking about how they exploit their children against their consent, and that she firmly disagrees with Nia's beliefs about marriage and divorce. But because a non-Christian is talking about her book at all, even negatively, she sees that as a good thing. Girl, what? They will profit off of anything, and I just feel so bad for their kids. They are all underage, but they will become adults and find out all of this information eventually. But instead of keeping anything private or purchasing a diary, they feel the need to defend themselves against the haters, who I'm sure they think is the devil himself. Because as Christians, if they're being attacked, that's just Satan trying to tear their family apart. Well, Satan's name is Sam Rader, actually. This documentary had a very skewed, empathetic lens towards the users of this site that were exposed for cheating on their spouses. And by the end of it, they want you to believe that the hackers were actually the bad guys the whole time, not the people doing the bad thing or the company helping the people do the bad thing, but the people who exposed those bad things. They're the bad guys. The mental gymnastics they take to come to this conclusion is maddening. They even use an example of a man taking his own life because he lost his job once his name was exposed on the list. His job was studying to become a pastor, by the way. And as someone who has been down the sewer slide multiple times, I understand wanting to put the blame on the circumstances surrounding his passing. But as tragic as that outcome was, if he was feeling shame and guilt for leading a double life, that's not the hacker's fault. It's just not. And I think that's a very unfair assessment of the situation. I feel for his widow, I really do, but I don't agree with what was being implied about the Ashley Madison hackers, that it's their fault that lives were ruined and not the ones doing the ruining. But let's get back to Sam Rader justifying his actions. He starts the documentary by talking about how he was bored of family life, and that is why he got on the website. And like I said before, he claims he never met up with anyone, only messaged women, and that's what he told his wife and their YouTube channel. But by the end of the documentary, we find out that's not true at all. Just hours after they posted their original apology video on YouTube in 2015, he further confessed to his wife that it was all a lie. He did meet up with people. He had affairs. He was having sex. He went to strip clubs, massage parlors. He was hitting on her friends. The boy had zero shame living that bachelor lifestyle. And the only reason he stopped was not because of the Ashley Madison leak. No, no, no. It was actually a year prior when their YouTube video went viral, and that added some excitement back into his life. I'm not kidding. I never kid.
Man, it just went crazy viral. It took off like almost immediately. It's just millions of views, I think daily. I was just like mind blown. It was like when for me, with the validation that I wanted so much in my life from women, from other people, to get that validation from YouTube, the world, was just, it was better than winning the lottery. It just brought an excitement to my life that I may have been seeking signing up from Ashley Madison.
Hi, it's me again. I forgot to add this quote from their new book where he says, "I've always had a dream to be famous," and he goes further into that, basically saying he's wanted to be famous since he was a child. And it's cute. When you're a kid, you ask a 5-year-old, "Hey, what do you want to be when you grow up?" And they say, "I want to be famous." It's adorable. When a grown-ass man is still saying that they want to be famous, wee woo, that's the cops, because what are you talking about? Like, famous for what? He just wants to be known to be known. He doesn't care if it's for good or for bad. He just wants people to know who he is. I mean, look at this man's face. He just like loves hearing the sound of someone else say his name. I'm pretty sure he probably says his own name when he's in the throes of passion. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, bye. In the last episode, after interviewing Sam and Nia separately, we find out that they are still together. She has forgiven him because they went to counseling. Oh, no, they didn't. They went to see their pastor. That is not the same thing. Pastors are not therapists. Bishops are not therapists. Stop doing this. It is a manipulation tactic to guilt the woman into staying in an abusive marriage. You think he was counseling Sam to stay in the marriage? He's got it made in the shade. He gets to have sex with whoever he wants, and his wife will forgive him every single time because she's Christian and she doesn't believe in divorce. In a video on their channel titled, "What is Divorce?", Sam is explaining to his oldest daughter what the word divorce means because she had never heard about it before.
It's a sad thing, huh? Because marriage is forever, right? And then she was so sweet. She was like, "And that's never going to happen to you and Mom, is it?" Like, absolutely not. It's important to know that divorce is of this world, okay? And that as Christians, we don't really, we shouldn't believe divorce, even though a lot of people do get divorces.
Divorces shouldn't be a thing.
It shouldn't be a thing. When Mommy and Daddy got married, we said that word would never come out of our mouths. And so to break that off and have a divorce would be breaking a covenant with God.
Oh, your religion doesn't allow you to divorce? That's not a religion. That's a cult. Nia echoed this belief that God hates divorce in a radio interview I found online. It only has less than 500 views, but it needs so much more than that because holy shit, I truly found a hidden trove of treasure. Just listen.
I can't help but feel that you're drinking the Kool-Aid because it feels like you want the Disney princess life and you felt that you had it, and regardless of what he does, you will accept anything just to keep it.
Oh, definitely not. I think just like Sam was living in his own bubble, I was also living in my own false bubble of fairy tale princess land. And we both had to come to grips with, okay, not only does he need to live in truth, but I need to live in reality. I had to go off and like really find my identity in the Lord. And like, what is it that I believe in? What is it that I look for? Like, is it the fairy tale? Is it the perfect facade? Like, I don't know.
Kimber, I'd like to ask, are you trying to ask Nia why hasn't she punished me? It sounds like that's kind of what you're getting around to. Why hasn't she punished me for what I had done and just left me?
If I'm completely frank with you, yeah, I don't know why she's with you.
She is on that queen shit. All hail Queen Kimba. I think her name is Kimba. She said, "I don't know why she's with you. Slimy ass, creepy ass, no good ass." And her co-host continue to be brutally honest, and it gets both Nia and Sam a little heated.
I don't think that you would have had this incredible transformation and come out unless you got caught.
Right. Well, let me ask you, what makes you think your sin is less than mine? What makes you think you lying, which I guarantee you do, or you stealing, what makes you think your sin is less than mine?
Oh, what? You've never cheated on your spouse for years and years and lied about it multiple times? You think you're better than me? No, Sam, I don't think I'm better than you. I know I'm better than you because I have never done that. Most people have never done that. Studies show that between 20 to 25% of men and 10 to 15% of women cheat on their spouses, which is a little high, but it's not the majority. Most people don't do that. Also, in a Christian context, yes, there are some sins that are worse than other sins, Sam. That's kind of how it works. But this is how he's justified it in his head, is that Everyone else is just like him, and he's the only one being honest about it. And he delves into a Jesus rant, which is pretty standard for any video I've ever seen of him.
Basically, what you're saying right now is all sin deserves punishment, and you are absolutely correct. You're 100% correct, and that's what everybody's failing to see. My sin, as well as your sin, are equal in God's eyes, and they all deserve a penalty. And that's who Jesus is. He came and paid that penalty. It is inborn in us. It is designed in our nature. We can't get around the fact that we deserve punishment for our sin. We can't get around it. And that's because we're designed to be perfect. And the only way we can be perfect is through a perfect God who sends Jesus down, who is perfect and paid the ultimate price. It's complicated,
like
but what you're saying is absolutely right.
Look, Sam, I'm going to say religion in this case for me is a deflection. I don't see it as you're due a punishment or a penalty. I think that actions have consequences.
Who is this woman? I love her. It is absolutely a deflection, but he gets super angry when she tries to tell him that religion is just a shield for his bad behavior.
But you cannot separate religion from this. You can't. It is the foundation of our existence. And that is what you're trying to do. You're trying to separate the foundation of our existence. I get it. You're not Christian, apparently, but you can't separate it. You can try to. You can say this out loud, but I'm sorry, Kimber, you're not allowed to.
Oh, if it was the foundation of your existence, I don't believe you would have signed up to Ashley Madison in the first place.
Chef's kiss, no notes. I couldn't come up with more perfect responses on the spot if I tried. And he starts saying even more insane shit.
Oh, well, guess what? I still struggle with the temptation of desiring other women. Are you kidding me? A deep, deep struggle of mine. And the temptations are way less than they ever were. I will absolutely never be perfect. And guess what? I don't know if you're married or not, but it sounds like your husband or your boyfriend isn't quite open with you, because this struggle is 99.9% of men.
I too love spreading misinformation. Let me try. 99.9% of the people who like this video are badass bitches. It's incurable, and the symptoms are lifelong.
Wow. So it's a men thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, no, I
It's
don't
a man
think
thing.
it's just a men thing, but...
So Nia chimes in and says, no, it's not a man thing. But your husband certainly thinks it is. That is a very Christian sentiment, that men are naturally lustful, and it's on the women to protect them by not dressing a certain way. And that certain way depends on where you were born. Some religious men think showing your hair is too sexy and too tempting, and some think showing your shoulders is crossing the line. At the end of the day, it's all made up to control women.
Sam, did you reveal that you've just revealed that you've cheated again, or are you just talking about the fact that you struggle every single day to keep it in your pants?
No. I'm saying I have confessed multiple things to Nia. It's been a couple months since the last confession. The last confession was, it's in our book. I've talked a lot about all of my struggles for today. Literally, I was at a coffee shop that I was visiting often, and I told Nia I'm not going anymore because I'm attracted to the barista there. And she gave me a particular look that I'm not going to toy with.
This man just said with his whole chest he's attracted to a Starbucks barista, who we all know is probably nowhere close to his age. This is potentially a teenager, because you can be 16 years old and work at Starbucks. Or it's most likely someone in their 20s. Sam is 38 years old. This man is almost 40. And remember that Nia was 15 when they met. Yes, it is my opinion that he is a predator and always has been. Allegedly. The other thing he said that was alarming is, she gave me a look. Absolutely the fuck she did not. I will bet on my mother's life that girl was not flirting with you, okay? She probably recognized you from YouTube. You look like every restaurant manager I have ever had. You look like you're about to change my oil at Jiffy Lube. You're not Jacob Elordi. Pipe the fuck down. She was looking at you because you're YouTube famous, dumbass. This man thinks that every woman and teenager wants him so bad because he is a textbook narcissist. And the fact that he has banned himself from going to that Starbucks tells me that he has not changed. That is not a transformation, Nia. In fact, in a video that is now deleted from their channel, he confessed to Nia that he was attracted to a woman he saw at a hotel because, again, she gave him a look, probably because she recognized him from the internet, and that he prayed he wouldn't see her again that night because he was just so tempted by her.
The last night I was there, I was at the hotel, and I was waiting at the front desk to ask if I needed to make a reservation for the restaurant upstairs. So we had dinner. What?
Why? Were you asking that?
So I can make a reservation.
You ate dinner at a restaurant by yourself?
Yeah, what do you mean? I called you that night.
Oh, I didn't remember. Anyway.
Yeah, remember they paid for dinner that night, so we could eat wherever we want. Everybody ate alone. But anyway, while I was waiting in line, this lady showed up, and we kind of showed up to the line at the same time, and she was like, oh, go ahead. I was like, no, you're fine, go ahead. And she went in front of me, and she turned around and gave me this just dumb look.
Okay.
Extremely flirtatious look.
Okay. Can you just get on with it?
I am.
You're going really slow.
I just want to make sure I cover everything. You're going to ask me all these questions anyway.
Okay.
So she's turned back, just like, give me this stupid
The lady you took
look.
pictures of in the pink shirt?
No, I didn't take any pictures of anybody.
Oh, yeah, you did. In Tel Aviv, or whatever.
Oh, no, I already told you about her. That was nothing.
Okay, whatever. I'm just saying maybe it's the same lady. Okay, anyway, she gave you a flirtatious look.
I didn't know this lady. Randomly saw her in the line.
Okay, and she gave you a flirtatious look.
Yes, and then whatever, I looked back at her, I reciprocated just slightly.
How? Show me.
What do you mean?
I want you to look at me the way you looked at that lady. Exactly. Take all your fear out of your face and give me exactly the look.
Well, we got up to the, I think she was with one person at the desk and I was with another person. And while I was waiting on, I was just looking at her.
Oh, so that's why she gave you a flirtatious look. You
No,
were
this was
checking her out?
after she looked at me.
Oh, okay.
I was just kind of curious. Like, why did she give me that look? And of course I got, she gave me attention like that. I was, whatever.
Like that? That's big attention?
She was like, it was really stupid and really flirtatious, and I was like, what the heck?
I have to reciprocate.
I mean, I didn't reciprocate like she did at all. But yeah, I mean, it caught my attention, whatever. And it's so crazy, I'm telling you this. Like, it's
What? What's so crazy about it?
I should have told you this a long time ago. It's so dumb.
The first trip or second trip?
It was the last day.
Of the first trip or the second trip? You went to Israel with?
the second trip.
Oh, okay.
So, whatever, I went my separate way to the elevator, and the stupidest thing I did was I waved at her. I don't know if she saw me, but I was just like, I was get on the elevator. That was the stupidest thing I did. And I don't think she saw me. She didn't respond at all. And basically I got in the elevator and just started praying that I would not see her again for the rest of the night because I was going to the restaurant. And just prayed and prayed that I would not run into her again.
Okay.
And I never did. That was it.
Oh, that was it?
Yes.
What? You built this up to be some big thing. What the heck? I thought you were about to tell me you had dinner with her or something. Why'd you have to build it up like that?
What?
Golly, I mean, yeah, that's annoying that you did that. I'm so glad you told me if it's really bugging you, but man, I really thought something bad was about to come out of your mouth.
This is currently what is going on in their relationship. He has to confess to her every time a girl looks at him because he cannot handle not objectifying them. And as Queen Kimba said, Nia has absolutely been drinking her husband's Kool-Aid, as she also blames other women for his temptations.
You ladies out there will feel me on this. Shoot, so will the men. This girl, she was very sweet. Kids loved her. She was super sweet. But she sat down across from us, like right where you are, and wearing a super short skirt. And I saw right up her skirt twice. And I was just like, don't you know that we're talking about like how he, like, where...
Just the lack of respect for my struggles.
This is a picture of the skirt she saw right up, by the way. Maybe the lady uncrossed her legs at some point, but they were very much crossed for the entirety of the interview. And what's stupid is Nia isn't offended for herself. She's offended for her husband, who might see her and think sexual thoughts about her. Don't you know that my husband has a lack of self-control that would put rabid animals to shame? It's being a Christian woman 101, which is you are responsible for the thoughts that men have. If only Jesus had something to say about this. Jesus, she's wearing a slutty outfit and she's tempting me. Hello to you too. Make her put some clothes on. I see. I do have some advice for both of you, actually. Thank you so much. Hi, Mama. You're good to go. For you, how about you just, pluck your eyes out? What? You heard me. Take your eyes out of your head. You won't have to see that anymore. I don't. Look, I'm a carpenter. I carry tools with me. Just, here you go. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. You are welcome. Now go and sin no more. Jesus was so metal, and modern Christians would disappoint him greatly. But don't worry about that part of the Bible. Just skip over that one. Nia thinks it's super normal to worry about your husband cheating on you every moment of the day.
I have seen Sam... you guys have to remember too, this happened like 8, 9, almost 10 years ago. Next summer will be 10 years. And I have truly seen him like walk out that repentance and choosing Jesus first. And so now it's up to me to just like kind of hand it over to God and be like, put Sam in God's hands, not anymore in mine. And it gives me so much peace. And I truly do look at him now and say, I do trust you, you know? Do I have my doubts sometimes? Like, don't we all as women just go through different things like that?
Don't we all? No, we don't, Nia. Some of us are in healthy relationships. But Sam has gaslit her so hard by telling her that every guy struggles with this. It's normal. It's not just me. All men have zero self-control over their thoughts and actions. So she's like, this must be normal, and every woman has trust issues with their husband. Like, she has accepted that this is going to be a problem for the rest of her life because he keeps reiterating that he has deep, deep struggles with being faithful to her everywhere he goes.
I do have a deep struggle with being attracted to other women that aren't my wife. I still struggle with lust. That didn't just go away. So it was important for us to set boundaries. And like, for example, there's a chapter in the book where a woman invites me to her house alone during our healing journey. And I'm sitting in my car outside of her house because it broke down and she knew who we were, but she invited me to her house to go in alone. But we had boundaries in place. The boundary was don't talk privately with another woman if she's not there.
Look, monogamy is not for everyone, okay? The Ashley Madison documentary shows a beautiful couple who are in an open relationship, and they are the happiest people in this documentary. But for Christian fundamentalists like Sam and Nia, that's not an option. It's sinful. It's of the devil. Marriage is between one man, his mistresses, the Starbucks barista, any girl who looks at him, and one woman. No one is trying to force polyamory or open relationships on everybody, but Christians try to force their monogamy on everyone else. And Sam and Nia are exhibit A of why that does not always work. And in my opinion, the backlash they are getting is not out of hate. It is out of concern for Nia and her kids, as many women in the comments are trying to tell her that they've been in her situation and she needs to get out now. But she has another theory of why women are actually upset with her.
One thing that makes me so sad when I think about primarily the women, the female response in the hate section, you know, of our comments, I think that maybe this is hitting a nerve for them because some of them probably still really loved their husband just like I did, and they chose to leave, and maybe we're causing them to think, wait a minute, could we have made that work? He was also very sorry. And it really does break my heart because I can sympathize and empathize with them, but I'm getting a lot of that. Like, how could you not just leave? And I'm like, how could you just up and leave?
Bitch, don't piss me off. Trust me, no one is jealous of your marriage. Not one person. No one wants your husband. Women are not throwing themselves at him like he says they are. He is trash. Oh, but marriage is difficult. People aren't perfect. It takes hard work. Hot take, marriage is not supposed to be difficult. The people who say that shit are in bad marriages. If your relationship is making life worse, either that relationship isn't for you or marriage is not for you, and that's okay. Sam was not meant to be in a monogamous relationship. He was meant to be at the club, maybe in the dumpster behind the club, but Nia stays with him because she thinks she can fix him. I can fix him. No, really, I can, Taylor Swift ass. Bob the Builder looking ass. Hey women, your job is not to fix men. One of my favorite memes of all time is this one. It says, I can change him. Girl, did he shit his pants? Nia doesn't have 4 kids. She has 5. Anyways, like everyone else I talk about on my channel, I do not think they will be canceled despite all of the controversy. There are still a lot of people who support them, mostly women who are also in abusive marriages, who are feeling validated in their choices to be self-righteous instead of self-respecting. And I didn't talk a lot about Mormonism in this video because it operates on largely the same principles of mainstream Christianity: homophobia, misogyny, toxic masculinity, and I don't care if you don't think Mormons aren't Christian. I don't identify as either. I think they're both made up. But Christianity walked so that Mormonism could run. Like, I would not have religious trauma if it wasn't for Christian zealots like these guys. The things I was taught growing up are the exact same things that Sam and Nia are preaching, just maybe sometimes in a different font. Well, thank you for watching. I got to redo my setup because you can't see all my cute stuff back here. I'll figure it out. But say goodbye to Trixie, say goodbye to Rexy, and say goodbye to me.